What's happening, everybody? All right. I guess I need to stop jamming out. That's what I'm doing. Let me turn this down because I've been rocking a little too hard. But what's happening, everybody? Once again, it's your boy Onyx here at Going Full Nerd. It's Sunday, 6 p.m., and you could be any place in the world, but I am so glad that you are here with me right now. Hey, as always, we join in recording the podcast that you can find on anchor.fm/goingfullnerd. You can also find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. But you can always be here live to see my wonderful, beautiful face and join in on the discussion, give your opinion, get a couple of comments from your boy when I do it live on youtube.com/goingfullnerd. Also, please, if you get a chance, you can follow me on Onyx1969 on Twitter, and you can also check out goingfullnerd.com for some of the latest information on where you can find comic book related material from the source. Places like Action Lab, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, Warner Brothers Animation, all that other good news stuff, IDW, all them different comic publishers. But anyway, let's talk a little bit because, we got to go ahead and hit the standards, the things that we do in the beginning of each show, which is the top 5 box office, domestic U.S. Well, let's check it out. So coming in at number 1 is the movie based on the PBS series. Those of you who watch public broadcasting system television, you got Downton Abbey. I always thought it was Downtown Abbey, but it's Downton Abbey. Go figure. That shows you how you really don't pay attention to stuff, But anyway, that came in at $31 million in theaters this week, making it the number 1 choice. Coming in at number 2, people are talking about Brad Pitt and Ad Astra. They say this movie is thoroughly awesome. They say this movie is super good. I may have to check it out eventually. May have to drop a review on it. But that came in at number 2 for $19.2 million. Coming in at number 3. Now, I'm surprised this even came in at number 3 because, like I say, you watch my channel, you understand how I feel about remakes. You understand how I feel about continued stories. You understand how I feel about these things. And lo and behold, boom. Rambo, Last Blood. I read on the internet somewhere that it got, what's the best way for me to put it? It got ripped by the guy that wrote the original Rambo. A lot of people think it was Sylvester Stallone. But anyway, they came in pulling in $19 million, a little chump change afterwards even. It got kind of edged out by Ad Astra. Go figure. Coming in at number 4 is last week's number 1, It Chapter 2, The Further Adventures of Pennywise, or whatever you want to call it. Pulling in $17.2 million. And coming in last but not least on the top 5 list, last week's number 2, J-Lo in the stripper movie where nobody strips. Hustlers came in at number 5, pulling an even $17 million in the box office. So, this is what your boy's doing today. We are here. All right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to talk a little bit because I'm talking about new catchphrase. Something new, and it's called the streaming wars. Streaming wars is a catchphrase. Okay, because everybody is coming out with these pay-per-view streaming services. Crazy, huh? Wild, huh? You got tons of them. You got all of them. Now, if you think about it, television has changed since I was a young kid growing up in New York. Okay, it's a long time ago for some of y'all. I'm ancient for some of y'all. But for some of y'all understand what's going down. Y'all understand how I roll. Y'all know what it is. So check this out. All right. Here we go. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to make this work. So here it is. When I grew up, we had the three basic networks. We had CBS, NBC, and ABC. Those were your three basic networks. That's where you caught all the news, the syndicated shows, the mini-series. I remember being in school, it was like, yo, you got to watch ABC tonight. We didn't say what channel. It was just like, you got to watch ABC tonight because Roots come on all week. And we had to do stuff like that, okay? Then we had the Saturday morning cartoons. That was hot. That was fire. You caught those on ABC, CBS, NBC. That was the great thing. You get up in the morning with your bowl of cereal. You eat your stuff and all that good stuff. Then we had those little off channels. Like if you grew up in New York in the 70s, 80s, early 90s, real early 90s, you had Pix, WNEW, you had those, and I'm not talking about before Fox and all that. I remember watching Channel 5, catching all the Kung Fu movies on Saturday mornings, catching the sci-fi late night, the Twilight Zone marathons and all that. Then you watch Channel 11 Pix after school, catching cartoons like Voltron, Popeye, and all that good stuff. And then they had the video game where you were trying to get people to call you up, and you was like on the phone trying to play the video games to win prizes, watching Bozo the Clown, be like, Pix, Pix, Pix. Yeah, some of y'all ain't old enough to remember that from New York. But this is the deal. This is how we roll. Nowadays, we got choices. Cable was invented. Then you had all these cable channels. We were paying out the end. Yo, you had to pay for HBO. You had to pay for Showtime. You had to pay for Cinemax. You had to pay for your risky channels. You had to pay for all that stuff. And that's what people wanted. That's what people did. And you had these cable companies hitting you over the head, getting all that money from you. So now, with the advent of the internet, we got all these streaming capabilities. We can see all these different videos and stuff at any time. The need to sit at home on a certain night and turn on the TV to watch a specific show has gone away. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that is something. How do you watch movies and television? How? Okay? This is the thing. Now, we're going to get more choices than ever. And a lot of people are cutting the cord because the cable companies, they were beating us over the head for years. For years. Like my cable bill, my cable bill averages like $250, after taxes and stuff like that. And I got basic stuff. I don't have all the HBO, Cinemax, and all that. I kind of do it a la carte. I get it when I see something that's coming out that I want to see on it, and then I'll be like, yo, I'll get that. Then I cancel it. Then I get it again when I need to because I can't afford to have a bunch of television that I'm going to watch or not watch when, all that goes down. Now, here's the thing. I don't want anybody freaking out. I don't want anybody tripping because let's be honest. We gotta be honest with the FCC. We can't act wrong with the FCC. We gotta act 100% right because some of y'all watch all this illegal stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Some of y'all be watching Kodi, Streambox, all that, and y'all be getting the bootleg movies. I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody coming knocking on my door talking about you gonna get 50 years for watching illegally downloaded movies. They did that in the 90s, early 2000s with LimeWire. They were like chasing dudes back to their house when they was downloading movies and stuff. And truthfully, I'm gonna be like 6ix9ine, and I'm gonna be snitching on all of y'all. I'm gonna be like, yo, if y'all gonna get me, he did it, she did it, they did it. I'm just letting y'all know right off the bat. Okay, so take that with what you want. Take that as you will. But let's talk about these streaming services coming up. We all know that you can get some real director stuff. Like you get the anime through Funimation. You can get your Spanish language channels through Univision and all this other stuff. But is that truly streaming service? Is that truly the streaming service? That's more like online available content. You could get online available content from like ABC, your cable company, Fios got an app, Comcast got an app, Cox got an app, DirecTV got an app, and you can kind of replay stuff and check stuff out like that. But let's talk the true streaming services. The streaming king that used to be the streaming king is or was Netflix. Netflix was the big daddy of them all. Netflix was beating us over the head when they were mailing DVDs to our home. So when they mailed DVDs to our home, we was like, oh man, we got this. We can watch it, send it back. Life's good. Then internet, cheaper, streaming. They was like, yo, we going to send this directly to your house. Then people started doing the funky share and password thing. It is what it is. That's how it goes. I'm not even going to argue or deal with it at this point. But Netflix has been running into problems over the past few years. They've been losing content. Like, I watched a lot of Marvel series on Netflix. Your Daredevil, your Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, all that good stuff. Luke Cage. I loved it. You've seen the reviews. You heard the reviews on the podcast. But here goes the dilly. Here goes the deal. Let me take a sip of my beverage. So, here goes the deal. Now, with them losing these things, the big companies that produce this content say, you know what? Original content is the way to go. Original content is what we see. We got all these different independent studios. We got to figure out a way to make money. We're not making money in the traditional box office all the time, so let's go get people where they go. Because people don't drive around like they used to. They consume entertainment at home. Boom. Here we go. So, first thing, let's talk about Disney Plus. Disney Plus was the big deal. Disney Plus, everybody hates or loves Disney. Me, I'm okay with Disney. I need to get my stock prices right back up. Disney's Disney. It does what it does. It owns Marvel Comics. It is what it is. They bought out Fox Movies, and they got all this streaming content. So think about it. Pretty much every Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, all that is going to be on Disney Plus eventually. Okay, then you're going to have stuff like The Mandalorian, reboots of Disney stuff, like High School Musical, Lizzie McGuire. They're going to start getting everybody with this, okay? I'm cool with that. I can dig that. All right, now listen here. It's going to have its strong points and it's going to have its weak points. This is something that there's going to be something to watch for everybody. Everybody's going to have it. And Disney has their foot in every brand that we like. Lucasfilm. For a guy like me that likes the superhero and action genre, they got all the Marvel stuff. They got Aliens. They got Avatar. Disney owns all that. And we're going to get original content. They're going to make original content. What is that? The Mandalorian. Extending the Star Wars mythos and things like that. They're also going to get stuff like The Simpsons because they bought Fox Television stuff. So they're going to have a lot of old school content to draw upon so that you can buy their service and watch the shows you grew up with and the ones you want to see. I'm cool with that. Then, if you really, really want to get down with the down, they got this big package where they're going to take Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus and bundle it all together for $12, effectively undercut Netflix and a couple of others. But Disney Plus, I think people are going to jump on it. It's going to be that one. If you don't get on it, people are going to be like, well, why didn't you see it and everything? So now, let's continue on. Let's move on. We talked a little bit about Hulu. This is going to be the more adult arm of Disney Plus. Disney Plus has already stated it's going to be more family friendly. Hulu is not going to be, you're not going to be searching through Hulu and finding I'm not going to say you may find some R rated, but you're not going to find adult rated content on Hulu. Let's keep this real, keep this family friendly. But what you're going to find on Hulu is the stuff that doesn't make the Disney Plus cut. The stuff for a little more mature audience. That's what's going to be on Hulu. Okay? Stuff like the shows The Handmaid's Tale that you see, it's going to pull the stuff from like FX, like The Shape of Water, more drama, more things like that. And the thing about it, the weakness of it is people are going to be like, well, why don't we just have it all in Disney Plus? But somebody somewhere decided they wanted to separate this content. I don't know if Hulu's going to be a trial for Disney Plus to say, okay, hey, we got this, and we're going to see if it works on Hulu, or if it doesn't get green light, doesn't get moved, doesn't get treated well, we'll just dump it on Hulu. Almost like how we used to deal with HBO and Showtime. HBO was the main go-to, and Showtime was like the meh, But anyway, we go at it like that. Now, you got the television stations, they trying to do their thing. CBS, okay? Now, I've never been a CBS fan. I've never been a person to watch NCIS. I've never been a person to watch Murder, She Wrote. I've never been the person to watch those shows. I don't know what it is about CBS, but when they broadcast, it seems grainy. It seems old. Everything CBS does seems old, but they're going to have their streaming service. I wonder if it's going to come through on dial-up. That's what. But anyway, you got CBS All Access, so they're going to get the old school stuff like Cheers, Cagney and Lacey. You'll get the Star Trek spin-off Picard, which CBS owns the Star Trek Mantra series, whatever you want, the rights. So that's going to be hot. That's going to be cool. I could dig that. That's probably the only draw for me and going full nerd on that. So I could dig that. We'll rock it. Moving on, they're also going to have things like NFL games. That will be a big thing. But I like Fox's presentation of the NFL more so than I like CBS's. I don't know. Maybe it just comes through so clear and just even and nice. I don't know. Maybe that's me. Sometimes you got to enjoy it. You got to say it is what it is. But let's continue on. Plus, they're going to have Showtime connected with it. Something else. Basically, just like I say, the biggest thing that CBS has to overcome, CBS for old people. And I refuse to be an old person. Anyway, Amazon Prime. Amazon rules our lives. Ted Bezos is making billions of dollars off of us every day, having stuff delivered, sent to our homes, cheap prices, unregulated. We're not even going to get into that. Not creating jobs, but creating jobs. Go figure, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. But Amazon Prime Video, they got a few things. Now, obviously, they're not going to get the content that they have from Disney or CBS and things like that, because everybody's getting their content and holding on to it, very proprietary, grabbing it, holding it, caressing it. You say, nah, this is mine, I got it. So what we plan on doing is this. Amazon Prime has been creating their own content. So they got people like Mindy Kaling, they got certain things. They're going to, like the Marvelous Miss Maisel, which won like an Emmy Award, things like that. They got The Tick. I peeped that out on there. That wasn't too bad. But they got things getting ready to happen, such as a Lord of the Rings prequel. So for all us sci-fi fantasy geeks, that might be a go-to to check that out. But the thing about Amazon is the cost. You get it free if you got an Amazon Prime membership, but do you really want to spend it? Now with the proprietary Amazon Fire Stick, it kind of forces it down your throat. And a lot of people get the Fire Stick, they do illegal things to it, and they watch other stuff. I don't know, not me, not your boy. You hold on to that thought. Now, here we go. We're going to jump into the last three. This is the last three in my opinion. Well, this is the last three I'm going to kind of dig into. Here we go. So, you got NBC, Comcast, Universal, whatever you want to call them. They are jumping into the streaming thing with a network called Peacock. The streaming network called Peacock. Obviously, NBC with the Peacock, If you know that, that's you. But here goes your boy. This is what I'm going to go ahead and say. Peacock is going to have a lot of stuff. It's going to have the Universal stuff. Fast and the Furious. Jurassic Park. It's like NBC's The Office. They could even have classic shows like Saved from the Bell. If that's your thing. If that is your thing. But here we go. Certain things like Seinfeld, Friends have been on other streaming networks since pulled. But we don't know if this streaming service is going to have a direct connection to Comcast cable service. basically. So they're trying to get the people who are still paying for cable and those who are switching to an all internet type based thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It may or may not work. It's going to happen April of next year. We're going to see how that goes down. I am still on the fence. I understand that they'll probably have Heroes, which is a series I loved on NBC, but I don't think that's strong enough for me to not go to my DVD collection and watch just to say I'm going to go stream it. It is what it is. All right. Next. Here you go. HBO Max. HBO Max. HBO is like, yo, listen. This is actually part of Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers got a couple of entries in this. Okay, Warner Brothers is going to have HBO Max, which comes spring of next year. Okay, so you see, they're going to, because they have problems with DC Universe. Okay, they had problems with DC Universe. Okay, and HBO Max, I think they say this is going to be where they try to fix that problem. This is a Warner Brothers thing. Okay, Warner Brothers, to me, has always been confusing. Warner Brothers has always had issues because they really never knew which direction they wanted to go, in my opinion. So you're going to have big-time movies like Harry Potter, all the DC Comics movie, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, all that good stuff. Bunch of HBO shows, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Game of Thrones, which I know will drag a whole lot of people in. It'll probably drag me in because I've never watched not one episode of Game of Thrones, and I really do need to watch it because people say it was just all that in a bag of chips, except for that last episode. But anyway, sometimes the ride is better than the destination. That's all I gotta say. Then you're gonna get certain things like they're talking about bringing back the Boondocks, which that's a hard sell. That's a good sell for me because I love the Boondocks. And then things like Friends and Big Bang Theory. Now, just like I talked about Peacock, okay, here goes the thing. These things are blurring lines. They're crossing lines on how people kind of put these shows and kind of share the stuff. And then you got these agreements on who can run what. So we'll see how HBO Max does. I really think they're going to fold in DC Universe into HBO Max. That's just my humble opinion. It may or may not happen. So I'm going to hold off on getting a subscription to either one at this point, or continuing a subscription with DC Universe, and see how those shows work out. Now, here's the one that just jumped in everybody's tail. This is what made my stocks drop this week. This is what made my Disney stock kind of fall, and for me to take a look at my online wallet and be like, yo, I need you people to watch and start donating. Apple put out, we got our streaming service. We know y'all like Apple TV. We gonna drop Apple TV Plus. And I'm like, wow. So basically what they're gonna do, they're gonna throw out this thing called The Morning Show with Jennifer Aniston. They're gonna do a reboot of Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories, which I wonder how that's going to work with NBC. I thought NBC held the rights to that. But anyway, they're going to have a science fiction series with Jason Momoa, an original thing. All the ladies love, big tan, long hair Jason Momoa. His thing is called C. And a modern take on Emily Dickinson are the things that they announced that they say this is going to go down. Here we go. They betting on doing their own programming. Apple is doing their thing. Here's the thing. They undercut everybody on price. Now, this is how you know that they are here to play or to just throw a monkey wrench in the whole thing. Usually, these things cost money to do. Netflix was catching hell for producing their online content, their original content, because people were trying to figure out how they make money off of that original content if you're not getting new subscribers. Here's the deal. Apple TV Plus is doubling down, and they're going to make their own original content. That's the majority of it. So, we going to see. We going to see what goes down. But when you undercut every streaming service and say, my stuff is what? I think they said it was what? $4.99.99? And this coming out in November of this year. They were like, yo, $5. Give us $5. Matter of fact, we ain't even going to ask for $5. We want a little less than $5. Send that over to us and we got you. We got you. We're going to give you TV. We're going to give you shows. We're going to give shows we hope you want to watch. Man, this is getting crazy. The streaming wars are off the chain. So that's pretty much all I got to say, folks. What is going to be your choice? What I'm going to go ahead and do? Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to go ahead and put a poll up, and you let me know what is going to be the number one streaming service that you actually reach into your wallet and pay for. Okay? I'm not... all you bootlegging, IP masking people, please keep your illegal content to yourself. Your boy don't want to hear about it. La, 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 la. But it is what it is. But the bottom line is this. It doesn't matter how you see your stuff, whether you binge watch it, download it, buy the DVD or Blu-ray for you, or 4K video, as you people do. What do you feel is the best value for your money? Hey, this is your boy Onyx here, Going Full Nerd. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to the podcast on a regular basis. Please make sure we're still kind of holding tight. We're holding tight. We're still doing November 2nd. We've got the Extra Life -org fundraiser coming up where I'm going to go ahead and play video games online as long as I can, all day, because, playing video games all day is not good for you. But I want you to see, we have raised $880 already for the Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be straightforward with you. We've frozen, so we need to go ahead and we need to get some donations. So please, make sure you go to extralife-org. Find Team Going Full Nerd. Go ahead and make your donation. You can help a family and some children out that need medical care and assistance. And anyway, it's your boy Onyx, thanking you once again for tuning in. And as always, please hit this video with a thumbs up, hit a like, share it with your friends. And I also like to say, if you can't say something nice about somebody, don't say anything at all. Just send it to me and I'll say it for you. Let me hit that outro music, take a sip of my mystery beverage, and I will see y'all again soon. Boom. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.